Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Naquan Williams, and today I wanted to talk about water fasting. So I have notes here, so if you see me looking down, that's what's going on. I just posted a video on YouTube about going to therapy for the very first time. If you have not checked it out, I will post a link or a card so you guys can check that out. And I want you guys to check it out because it kind of ties into why I'm going into a fast. I've been dealing with some depression lately, and one of the ways that I've coped is just by eating excessively, knowing that I'm just doing harm to my body. I've been eating a lot of fast food, a lot of things that are just not good for me, in means of trying to cope. And so this fast that I am embarking upon has meaning. I want to change my relationship with food. I want to change how I view it. I want to find a healthier way to cope. I know that food is not the answer, although I've made it an answer, at least in the time being. I also want freedom from depression. And of course, I would like to drop some weight. I've packed on excess amounts of weight, more weight than I feel comfortable with. I know that I can be at a healthier weight. My fast starts today. Today is Monday. I'm doing 5-2, so that means 5 days of water fasting, and then I will refeed on the 6th and 7th day, which in my case is Saturday and Sunday. I'm gonna wrap this up. Love you guys, take care, and I will see you guys in the next video. Alright, so after the recording that you just watched, I did want to go back and add to the fact that I did start off my water fast at 207.8 pounds. On day one, I did pray, I did meditate, and I did say my words of affirmation that morning. Now, after the recording that you just watched, I will say that I got hungry about, you would jump up and get behind me, but I did get hungry about 3 to 4 p.m. However, that only lasted for about 2 hours, so that's not so bad. That's not bad at all in my opinion. I didn't drink as much water as I would have liked to have drank. Usually people who are water fasting usually drink about a gallon of water. I have not gotten there yet, so I think I only consumed about 30 ounces, which I realize is not good for water fasting. You typically want to consume much more than that. Also, that night I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was fully alert and fully awake, but eventually I was able to go back off into a sleep after about an hour. Now on day 2, I did wake up with some minor food cravings, but nothing too serious. I wasn't really hungry. I did go out to a park nearby and walk for about 30 minutes. During this time I did listen to a audiobook, Les Brown, a motivational speaker, and I think doing all of that as well as my meditation, prayer, and words of affirmation, I think that just kind of started my day off in a positive direction. Now later on, after my 30-minute walk, I had therapy in a few hours. I won't get too much details here because you'll see on day 3 I actually talk more about that. But after therapy, I felt myself a bit depressed. I didn't really want to do too much of anything, and also I found that I wanted to go to bed earlier than usual. It's probably the most emotional that I've been all week. Alright, so this is day 3 of my water fast, and I just thought that I would share some things. So I woke up a little weaker today than I did yesterday on the second day. And I actually noticed that last night I did sleep a little longer. To know that I slept a little better today is definitely encouraging to know. This is not my first water fast. This is the second time I'm doing it. The first time around, I remember being just weak to the point that I did not want to stand up too much. I didn't really have the energy to really do too much anything. My muscles were hurting, and surprisingly, that's not really my experience this time around. Granted, I do have moments of weakness, and granted, I may have to focus a little bit more on trying to concentrate on some things, but it's not as bad as the first time around, so I'm not sure what that's all about. I don't really have any food cravings. That's my cat. I really don't have any food cravings. Yesterday after therapy, I did notice that, I guess because of the stress that I had coming out, again, just for, I guess, recapping on some memories, I really wanted to stop by Chick-fil-A and get some fries and some macaroni and cheese. That might sound like a weird combination. It's really what I had a taste for, and it's really what I wanted. And so I did prevail and I didn't get it, so I'm proud to say that. Oh, and I did notice that as of today, I've lost a total of 5.2 pounds. So I have 2 more days to go. I have been thinking about food, but I really haven't been hungry, just craving. So I already knew going into this that this would be more so of a mind thing, but I think that in consideration of going to therapy yesterday, that this water fast was very much timely because I was not able to resort to my usual ways of coping, which is running straight to food. I had to find another way to deal with it, which I turned to journaling. So that's positive. That's a positive outcome or a positive way to deal with a stressful situation. So I have some things to do, but I wanted to go ahead and check in. And until next time, yeah. So after the clip that you just watched, I began to wonder, what is hunger? Being 3 days into a fast, I can't really say that I was hungry. Everything for me was a craving. And so when it made me think that when people say casually, oh, I'm hungry, you know, and they just ate like 2-3 hours ago, what does that really mean? You know, I think that when you're water fasting, you realize that we probably use hunger, or we kind of throw that word around kind of loosely. So on this day, I just kind of reflected on hunger and what it truly means when a person says that they are hungry. Now on day 4, I woke up with my stomach growling. This is the first time that it growled in 4 days. Also, I noticed that I was weak, I was sluggish. I noticed that I stayed in bed an additional 20 minutes than usual. I had to just kind of take my time with things. I did have to give my cat a bath yesterday. And so I did not realize in bathing him how much energy would expend in giving him a bath. Like after I was done, I literally had to sit down for about 20 to 30 minutes just to get my strength back. But once I was done, I was absolutely fine to go throughout my day. I did notice that I also reflected more about life. In terms of where I see myself in the future, I journaled more, Casey. All in all, I would say that day 4 was a pretty positive day. Here he goes. I managed to consume 84 ounces of water, which is better than what I've consumed in the prior days. Now, I did want to say when I would go to bed that I would notice my heart beating. Sometimes I would notice that it was beating a little faster than usual. It just seemed like it was louder than usual. It's really hard to explain. I just noticed it more than I probably would. And so yeah, that was pretty interesting, but I came across a guy online who said that has more so to do with your body going into ketosis, and that's pretty much a process of where your body burns fat for energy. So here we are on day 5. Praise the Lord. When I weighed myself this morning, I was at 197. Hold on, let me make sure. You know what? I didn't write it down. Just a moment. When I weighed myself this morning, I weighed in at 197.4. So between Wednesday and today, which is day 5, I lost an additional 5.2 pounds. So overall, in 5 days, I've lost 10.4 pounds, which is absolutely amazing. So I will say that when I woke up this morning, I did wake up feeling pretty hungry. Well, maybe I shouldn't say pretty hungry. I just woke up feeling hungry, but I think it's a mind thing. It wasn't like my stomach was hungry. It's just the fact that I know that I have not eaten anything in 5 days at this point. It's like a mind thing where it's just like, okay, you know you're ready to eat. Technically, my fast ends today at 10 p.m. I did get out the bed this morning feeling a bit sluggish. I will say that I didn't really care to do too much of anything, and it's not because of depression, it was more so because of just low energy. I found myself saying, okay, Naquan, you need to take it a bit easier today. But that was like a few hours ago, at least at the time of recording this. Now I feel mostly fine, but I still want to kind of take it easy today, only because I've been ripping and running around all week long, and I just kind of want to listen to my body. So I will also say that my stomach growled a little bit prior to recording this as well. So I guess this would be the second time in a 5-day span that my stomach growled. Again, I think part of it is just a mental thing. I'll be eating something in less than 24 hours from now, so it's just like I think my mind preparing me or playing a trick on me or whatever. I'm so glad that I've come to an end, well, almost to an end of my 5 days. I've had some challenging moments, but I'm glad that I persevered and pushed through. So I want to get into my moments of reflection. You know, I noticed that during this fast, it's a mind thing. It really is a mind thing, and I know that I kind of mentioned that before, but you really have to have the willpower to persevere. You have to have the willpower and the determination that regardless of how bad your mind plays tricks on you, that you're going to stick it through. There's so many people who, for whatever reasons, and this is just where they are in their particular journey, they find themselves maybe kind of breaking into their fast earlier than expected because maybe food temptation or the smell, or because they're just feeling a little weak. And so it's really a mind thing. It's like you have to conquer your thoughts, and you really have to say, regardless of whatever temptation I have at the moment, I'm going to push through it. Also, during this fast, I kind of thought about the fact that we celebrate just about everything with food. Food is involved in so much of our society. You know, birthdays, anniversaries, business meetings, family functions. It doesn't matter what it is, food is there. And I'm not knocking it now. I'm definitely not knocking that. But it just kind of helped me to think about how ingrained food is into society. And it made me wonder, like, who came up with the notion that, you know, you have to eat 3 times a day. Before there was fast food restaurants and marketplaces and things like that, even going back to caveman times or just thousands of years ago, they didn't have Burger King and Wendy's and Chick-fil-A and Chipotle and Red Lobsters, and, you know, they didn't have Walmart's, Kroger's, Publix. You know, they didn't have those things. It was pretty much you have to hunt for your food. And also regarding fruits and vegetables, those came in seasons. You know, it was not easily accessible. And so they went plenty of days without eating. But once they were able to eat, they feasted. But again, they went plenty of days without eating, and they were fine. And so it really just kind of made me think about food in terms of how much we indulge ourselves with it, and how much I've allowed myself to indulge myself and just eating excessively. I break my fast tomorrow. Technically my fast again ends today at 10 p.m. but I plan to break it tomorrow at about noon with some watermelon and maybe some orange. And dinner I'll probably have soup. I'm not exactly sure. We'll see. That's all that I have for you guys on today. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, comment, and subscribe. Listen, that really helps my videos. It really helps me know that you guys appreciate the effort that I'm putting into this. Although it's more so for me, but I do believe in sharing this. It will help someone. I know that I've looked at several videos while I was on my fast on YouTube because it helped me during maybe times of weakness or times when I thought about cracking. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.